here today in
Sure. So I work for mHabitat, which is part of the NHS, and we are doing some work with a firm called Good Things Foundation. They're actually a charity who are sponsored by NHS Digital to work across the country to improve inclusion and accessibility and the experience that people have when accessing health services. So that might be through the use of technology, or it might just be about understanding better how the environment can be set up to help people have a better experience.
Amazing. And obviously you've asked me to be a part of the project as, I guess, two different hats. Kind of the end user being deafblind, looking at my patient experience from me going to a GP's office, and also I guess I can also consult in kind of accessibility in various areas in terms of, I think the doctors were a bit unaware of how to treat certain patients with certain impairment, and we've got a variety of people who turned up that all have visual impairments of different levels. 3 guide dogs in one office, quite exciting.
And they've all been really good.
Yes, they have, bless them. And yeah, so we've just been walking through the journey, coming into a GP's office.
We found that the staff were a little unaware of some of the complexities surrounding visual impairments. Materials that are laminated can cause unnecessary glare.
That are on there, if she's struggling to see them.
Not that I know.
Okay.
As far as I know, we don't do braille, but that is something obviously that
Many visually impaired / blind people do not read braille.
So it would have to be larger writing. Didn't think of that.
So there's some, I don't know if you can see it, Mike, there's some little cards here on the desk.
It was then when we discussed the various ways VI and blind people can access text.
I don't think you'd even spot those.
Right.
Okay. So yes, something.
Yeah, that's something we need to speak to. Can't see you, but I'm waving.
No, that's it.
Wow. Yeah, that's really awful. That's the only word I can describe it as, because it's just so...
Can you try and find the screen now?
There you are.
Yeah, so you did a lot of scanning to find
Yeah.
the screen.
Right, that's my
It's a
computer.
lot of concentration, it's very tiring.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So try these ones. These are what.
Very strange.
So this is what Richard in our team, that's near to what he sees. So he uses like a screen reader, big zoom feature on his screen to enlarge text.
See, that's not as bad. It's just very annoying.
Richard, like Molly, is very, very good at not looking like he's got an issue. So you don't notice unless you walk past Richard. You can't
But if I were to say to you, if you go to your computer and, you know, open up something and do an email,
I can from the side.
you can see better on the peripherals.
Yeah. Not. Yeah, that's very, very annoying. I can see shadows, like we like shadows, silhouettes of the people, but
Are you glad to take them off?
yeah, because that's really, really. I mean, I know I wear glasses and I can't see long distances, things are blurry, so I wear them to sharpen the edges. I take them off for doing the computer and things. But when you're used to wearing glasses and then you swap for something like that, and wow, you're amazing.
And there's lots
I don't
of
know how
factors
you
to it
do
as well. It's like light and dark. So I see a lot better during the day than I do in the dark. Like I'm totally blind in the dark.
Right.
So if I was to go from here to a room that's darker, I would really struggle to adjust. You know, quite dizzy and kind of have to hold on to something.
Yeah, it did make me feel like my head was not quite. It felt a
disorientated.
bit wobbly.
Yeah.
I met a woman.
It's not fun.
It's not, is it? No. But the thing is, though, is up until I put them on, I've never appreciated or understood.
No, that's why they're good.
Even any part of. I mean, I wear glasses, but that's completely different to having visual impairment.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's very.
eye-opening.
frightening. Eye-opening and frightening all at the same time. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
First, the good one, probably the easier ones first.
We got some more stuff to try on the stimulation glasses to give an idea of some of the other struggles.
So stuff.
From the sides, isn't it?
We went on to explain some of the differences in a couple of different visual impairments and how having some vision can still prove challenging without tools and support.
Additionally, if I walk past Richard, if I'm walking towards Richard in the corridor, I walk past him, he doesn't notice me. He knows there's someone there.
Yeah,
He doesn't notice me.
that's it. Yeah, you can see the shadow or see the outline, but you can't pinpoint who it actually is.
And these
So these ones, that's like what I see.
This is what you're saying.
You're amazing.
Awful.
Yeah.
You see, to look at you, you wouldn't know.
That it kind of goes against me though, because it's like I have to explain that a lot. I obviously have my guide dog, and she helps me get from A to B. But once I'm where I need to be, I'm quite good at getting around because I'm quite visual. I want it to. So because I was born deaf, so I wear 2 hearing aids. So I always used to lip read, and I don't use so much anymore because it's tiring for the eyes and stuff. But I'm still very visual. I just have the incline to look at something because I'm just naturally a visual person.
Did that not make it difficult?
So different. It makes it so tiring, exhausting. So when I walk in and I'm trying to read these things, and then if I'm struggling to hear someone, I'll then lip read them, and it's like you guys.
Do you tell people though that you have these things, or do you think that people should know?
No, I am very
Are you
pro
offended
raising
if somebody
awareness.
said, oh my God, do you want help? Do
No,
you know
I
this?
wouldn't want to be smothered. No one wants to be smothered. But it's for an individual to feel comfortable enough to actually tell you that they have a condition is one step. That's kind of denial, acceptance in itself. But once someone's told you, it's then how can they help you? And I think a lot of people struggle with actually knowing what to do and how to help someone because they don't quite understand it. But from experience, I've learned that communicating my needs is better. Like I would rather just talk to people, tell them exactly how it is, and have them have a better understanding. So then, when they next meet someone,
iPad is using camera to detect text and then voice is speaking content.
So if you got here and you couldn't see, it says that anticoagulation clinic this way.
Which way?
How does that help you?
Yeah, it doesn't, does it really?
So when David uses
So you need it to say either turn left.
yeah. So
Here we're trying to get people to understand how tech can possibly help to make the experience so much easier.
It started going before I was there.
That's because as soon as it sees any text, it starts reading out.
Turn around and put it on down.
App reads out automatic door from the signs placed on the doors. Then use the app to detect a face. The reaction is priceless.
Looking neutral.
I like that. I'm 43 and I'm ginger. Why did you say I was 38?
38, yeah.
I like that machine.
Here we go.
Similar tech involving an app where a camera scans in front and reads what is in front to him into his ears. He is also wearing headphones.
You can't hear this, can you? No, sorry. Would you like me to turn me...
App reads the sign in front.
So it's got all that. It says I've got to stand over here and wait until I'm called to check in. So I'll just wait somewhere here. And I'm at reception.
Sometimes distance can cause issues for the camera to detect what is in front. This is where it's crucial that staff are aware to assist when needed. Finding a seat can be a challenge. Dogs can be trained to find a seat, however this is an inconsistency amongst working dogs and not all VI blind people have guide dogs. Finding materials with text proved a little challenging. Some signs were high and others were low. This proved inaccessible. On screen are some pretty untidy notes that were made during the session. Notes are tricky to read, but it's a few different notes about a few apps that people are unaware of. Talking about how signage was hard to read, macular degeneration, Bumblebee at RNIB, Amazon at Echo. Also, other stuff at RNIB that's available, how one could be embarrassed to receive help.
Great guy, great app that he's created.
Do you have email addresses?
Hi Sharon, and what have you been doing today?
I've been helping with the visually impaired and blind workshop. Is it a workshop?
It's
Do
a
we call it a
workshop,
workshop?
yeah, Digital Pathfinder workshop.
Yeah, it's been really interesting, very informative.
Yeah.
Things that you wouldn't realise being a sighted person, the difficulties that visually impaired and blind people have. Just simply walking through the doctor's door to get to reception, it's just a straightforward walk, but for somebody who can see, then yeah, it is. But for somebody who's visually impaired, I just didn't realise the challenges
Yeah.
that somebody would have. It's been really, really good and really informative.
Good. So what is your role in this GP's practice, and how do you think your experience today is going to help do your job better, essentially?
Right. Well, I'm a receptionist, so I deal with the public when they come into reception. It really will help because obviously now I know to look out for people and ask them if they do need any help, and then I can assist them with their needs, either coming to reception or finding a seat or going down into the doctor's room to help them get around the building if they need that help, which I wouldn't necessarily have known before.
No, sure. Well, it's all about awareness, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, unless
definitely.
you come across it before or have something like this, it can help raise awareness for future experience. And it's so that it's easier for you as well as the patient. And it will be beneficial long term for everybody, I think.
Definitely. It's been really good, and I would recommend sighted people to do a course like this or to find out more information, because obviously we all need to live together, and if we can help each other out, it just makes everybody's experience a lot easier.
More inclusive.
Definitely.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sharon.
You're very welcome.
So could you tell me a bit more about your experience today?
I was quite surprised how difficult it was for people going into a strange building and trying to find a way around it.
Mm-hmm.
We tried on some glasses,
Yeah.
which highlighted the problem that the patients have when they're trying to get about a normal everyday duties.
Have you come across people with visual impairments before coming into?
We do have a patient that comes in. He's well known to the practice, and he asks for help and says, "Can you let me know?" And we take him down to the doctor. I don't know anybody other than that patient.
Sure. Yeah. So
Because we're not on the reception all the time.
But so now would you say you feel more comfortable if someone was to come in, that you'd have a bit more of an idea of what's asked of?
The problem that I find is that when you're behind the desk, it's a very, very busy practice. You're trying to do other jobs at the same time. We're not just looking forward or just watching people coming in. Is that you don't always notice that they have a guide dog.
Yeah.
Like yourself, I wouldn't, you know. You're just like some...
That is one of the first obstacles I saw, how tall the desk was.
Yeah,
and
it would only be like if you said, I would need help, and then you say, yes, of course.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. But would you say, on the whole, today has helped you?
Yes.
Cool. That's really, really cool. Thank you very much. See, they work hard and they play hard.
Oh, definitely.
Catch you back, mate. Good girl.
Information on the timetable change?